Oh, well, I feel silly. Appreciate the heads up, BJ. I've been sitting here chit-chatting with the chat screen. When people come in, I was talking to y'all. It was muted and I didn't know it. I said hey to you when you said hey. I even asked you about if you had your sound issue worked out. I guess Dutchman done came and left too. I said hey to him when he come in. Oh, that's just part of it, I guess. I was having a senior moment. Go, let's see. Look on the channel. Everything you need to know about setting your sound up is in my trial videos. Look at those trial videos. I know you done watched them. That's all I can tell you about setting your sound up. Is what I did. Now, if the video quality itself ain't good, ain't much, I don't know what to tell you on that. There ain't much you can do except get a better connection speed. Realistically, you would turn your head all the way around that way to do it. I know it's going to sound rude, but if I come over there, and play with it and get it set up, how is that helping you? That's just me doing it for you. There you go, hook up. Pull it around here. That's part of the learning process. Learning to do something is doing it and messing it up so many times that you finally learn how to do it. Till you get it right, in other words. And buddy, I love you like you're one of my own, and I tell you like I do my kids. Helping you is letting you fail. Because if you don't try to do something, you won't be successful 100% of the time. Nobody ever is. So you've got to not be scared to mess up. You've got to not be scared to fail. Because without failure, you will never succeed in anything. So that's why I said, you know, just play with it. Use those test and trial videos that I put to give you an example of things to look at. It could be something simple, but if you figure it out yourself, you'll have a lot more pride in it than if somebody just says, well, right here's your problem. You need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. You know what I mean? Oh, on the video editor? Yeah, it's the same way, man. I didn't know what none of that stuff was. Mash, you know, just record you a video. Sit down, play the game, and let it record for 10, 15, 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. And then as you go in there, mash this button. See what, you know, what does this button do? What is it telling me? What will it allow me to do? Okay, and then come out of that. What does this next button do? That's basically what I did. I mean, there's some stuff on there that me and one of Kirsten's friends, we're still trying to figure out. And I told him, I said, I've done it before. He's trying to, he's got a pre-recorded video that he's got on a USB drive, and he's trying to upload it onto his PlayStation. And we tried and tried and tried, and he's like, you know, Kitten told me that you had done it. I said, yeah, I did. He's like, well, how'd you do it? I said, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. It took a while, and I only did it that once for that one special reason. And it was, you know, when I changed PlayStations over, I had to take stuff off the old PlayStation and put it on the new one because it hadn't posted yet. I said, and since I'd done it, I haven't done it since, and I don't remember every step. I just remember it being a pain in the butt, but I had to figure it out. I know there's a way to do it. I just can't. I told him, I said, I think my problem is the folders, on the USB drive to upload something onto the PlayStation, you have to set the folders up just right. And I couldn't remember the names of the folders, but I told him, I said, it's in the instruction manual. And he's like, the instruction manual? See, he didn't even know there was an instruction manual for the Share Factory. Because he never thought about looking for instructions. His first thought was, oh, I need to find somebody that's used this before and let them tell me how to do it. I mean, you do know there's an entire book for the Share Factory, right? I call it a book. It's what an instruction manual used to be. It used to be printed on paper, but nowadays it's all online. But there's a button on the Share Factory. I can't remember which button it is. I think it's options, but I'm not going to swear to it. That'll open up the instruction book, and you can read the whole instruction book. That helps you out a little bit. It's not the greatest instruction manual in the world, but it'll at least tell you what all the little icons are for, you know, for editing and adding sound and everything like that. That's how I started. Oh, that's a light switch. Okay. I forgot we had lights in this building. That gets that back over here. Because I'm going to be honest with you, for me to teach you how to use a share factory, it'd be an all day thing, dude. It really would. Because just about every starting button has 5 or 6 or 7 different options you can do out of every one. But hey, Kitten's doing the same thing you're doing. She's trying to learn how to use it. She's doing little bitty 5 and 10 minute videos on that was it Killing Floor or something? One of those first person shoot up the zombie games is all I can tell you. And she's figuring out, how to use that. So she's in the same boat you are. Yeah, that one. She's made 1 or 2, I know. Just so she can play around with the share factory and learn how to edit the videos. She wants to try to get good at that. She makes hers where they're like a music video. But it's all footage from that game, yeah. Oh, that was perfect. Why don't y'all all stay over there all the time? That's awesome. Yeah, I seen you a while ago, bro, talking to the robot. Yeah, still got grass over here to do something with. Not really decided. I don't have time to pick it up right now, and it needs to be cut again. It'll probably get a second cutting on this before I even pick it up. I want to get this second stage of fertilizer. La 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 la. On the field. Has our price for silage started coming up yet? No, it's still down. Doggone it. Well, the mic problems can be anything from just a completely bad microphone to something simple like me this morning, having it muted, not knowing it. Could be that you don't have your microphone input level up high enough. Could be that you have your game sound up too loud. Microphone issues are just one of those things you just gotta play with it, trial and error, and get it right. Oh, that's no big deal, dude. Well, what you need to do is on the weekend, if you want me to help you with it, this is what you do. You want me to help you with it on a weekend when your mom and them's gonna go to S&S or something, go to the grocery store. Have her swing you by here and drop you off. And then I can show you a little here and a little there. We can knock it out that way. Because I've got some recorded clips on my other profile, and we can play with those. It'll give us something to play with in the editor, and we can mess with buttons that way, because you can't mess none of that stuff up. And we can play with it that way. No, it ain't gonna be like that, dude. I just show you a little here, a little there while she's grocery shopping or whatever. And then she can come back by and pick you up later, or I can take you home later or whatever. Because like I said, to try to teach you all that stuff, it take days, man. It's one of those things where you just got to play with it and learn it. It's sort of like getting a new game. You know, when you first get a new game, you're trying to learn the controls on the controller. What makes my guy jump? What makes him do backflips? You know, the easy stuff is, oh, this makes the camera move. This makes my player move. But when you get used to a certain game, the controller's set up a certain way, then you change games, you got to learn everything all over again. It's sort of the same way with editing videos. To me, it's just too time consuming. It takes too long. Yeah, it'll work. Like I said, just anytime they're headed to town, anytime they're coming up into town to take care of anything or whatever. Is your dad leaving out today? Or is he leaving out tomorrow? See, if he leaves out today, you could always have him, you know, have your mom drop you by when she takes him to the truck. And we can look at some of it. As long as it ain't too late. I gotta leave. I gotta leave here at about 5 o'clock to take Kitten home. But you know, if he leaves before then, when he goes to the truck, you could talk him into swinging you by here, and then if you're here before 5 o'clock, I'll drop you back off at your house when I leave. And you can look at I can show you a little bit of it. I won't show you. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna show you a whole lot, bro, because I only have the weekends to play. I don't like taking away from my playing time to try to teach you how to use something that I don't use. I learned how to use it just to know that I don't want to use it no more. I would rather do live streams than do videos. That was the reason why I stopped doing videos. I'd record for 2-3 hours, then I'd spend another 2 or 3 hours editing, you know, and that's like per episode, depending on what you do in that episode, you know. And when I started off, there was a lot of contracting jobs. You know, if you do a contracting job on a field and you edit it down, nobody wants to sit and watch you do a 6.5 hour potato harvest. You edit that down so that it takes 3 minutes, but you still have to play it for 6 hours to get all the footage and get the job done. So it's too time consuming, man. That's why I don't monkey with it. And I was nowhere near great at it, but I learned where all the buttons are and what most of them do, I believe. Now Kitten's wanting to know, she asked me last night why I haven't done any posting of my other game I've been playing. Ah, doggone it. Let's see, it's that button, no. It's that button, no. It's this button, yeah, there it is. I know it's one of them directional buttons to close it. Keep forgetting which one it is all the time. And I told her I just wasn't sure if anybody on here would really like watching it. It's not like I'm very entertaining or anything. And I have very, I guess the word would be eclectic taste when it comes to video games. You've seen the stuff I play. I'm like all over the map when it comes to video games. Oh, that's fine with me, boss. Alright guys, that's the first hour down. Thanks to the notification. Because he's related to Brody, that's why. Oh, you put that one out there, didn't you, dude? Oh, you tossed that one like a softball, and I hit it out of the park. I can do better than that, though. I can make him say, let's see. Let's try that command, see if it works. I haven't tried any of my commands in a while to see if they work. Quite honestly, he don't speak a whole lot. Yeah, there he goes. Not, but I don't have him chiming in a whole lot. Every once in a while they will overlap like they just did. I got him marking every hour of broadcast. That way I can sort of glance over and look at the chat. I see the chat as it, rolls up. And that sort of gives me an idea of how long I've been going. And then, of course, selfless self-promotion, throwing the Facebook channel up there, or the Facebook page. Still looking for players, guys. If anybody out there is interested, we're looking for players, because I know West Coast is just around the corner. PC got theirs released this week with no problems. We're just waiting on a couple of shader issues. So Bill's having to go back over it. Where us console guys run into a problem is Giants does not give the modders any way that they can test out their mod on a console. All they can do is make the mod or make the map for the console along the parameters that Giants give them and send it in, where Giants has to do the testing and the trial, and if there's an issue, then they have to send it back to the modder. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this. I'm just, running through it. And then the modder has to go through it again, and according to what I've read off of Bill's Facebook page, it's not a very simple thing. It's not like Giants is sending it back and saying, A, B, and C need to be fixed. No, they send it back with a very non-specific message on it. Error message, error found in text or shader, blah 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 blah, a bunch of stuff that I'm sure he understands and I don't. But even he says in his message on his Facebook that it's not specific. It means having to go through all of the code and figure out which texture, which shader, because they don't. And it's one of those trial and error type of things, simply because he has no way of trying out the map or the mod for console. And he can self-test. He can self-test his maps and mods all day, every day for PC. That's doable. But there's no way for him to test anything in-house on the consoles. So we have to wait. Players for what? For doing multiplayer on West Coast. Gonna be looking for 5 PlayStation 4 players. That's the only thing, guys, you know. We can't cross-platform play, so gonna have to be PS4 players. So that when West Coast comes out, we're gonna try to do something that I have not seen done on here. I'm gonna try to set it up to where me and 5 guys every Saturday I'll wake up and I will log in at about 8 or 8:30, you know, and get the game started, so the map will be started, and I will leave it logged in all day long. I will be in and out, but it's, you know, since we don't have PC servers, so that we can set it up like some of the big boys do, I'm going to let mine run all day so that the server will be up. That way there won't be like issues on time. You know, you won't have to live in the same time zones. You won't have to be playing, for the most part, at the exact same time. But West Coast is a map that's set up with 6 individual farms, 6 small individual farms on it. And I figured it'd be nice to try to do a live stream multiplayer farming community stream show live. Just keep adding words to it. It makes it sound better, right? No, that doesn't work. But yeah. So I'm looking for 5 like-minded individuals. Be willing to play an hour, 2 hours, whatever your time frame would be, but every Saturday, so that people could come into the stream and visit with us. I'm more than happy to share it with anybody. So if you're thinking of, you're on a PlayStation, you play Farming Simulator, you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, hey man, start it up. Try it out. Do live streams with it. Live stream what you play on West Coast on the multiplayer server from your camera angle, just like I do mine, except you'll have other farmers you'll be running into. At least it's an idea. It's what I want to try. Will it work? Who knows? Like I said, I'd like to see it work. I'd like to try it to see if it'll work. I've been testing on, well, as BJ can tell you, I'm testing mine now to make sure I'm getting everything set up on my settings so that once I log it in, it's logged in and it'll stay on whether I'm at it or not. I can go away from what I call AFC, away from controller. I can go away from controller, mute my mic, and just let the game go. That way, when, you know, the other 5 players will have the password. We're going to have a password set up on it. That way, it also keeps you from having to worry about trolls. You won't have to worry about it. You know what players have the password, what players don't. That's an idea. That's what I'm trying to do. Personally, I just think West Coast is going to be an awesome multiplayer map. And I don't want to do those. I don't want to do those Daggerwin multiplayer type episodes he does. I've seen a couple of his multiplayer episodes. Nothing bad wrong with them. But I want to run. I play a simulator for a reason. It's to simulate the life on the farm. The jobs you do, this, that, and the other. Okay, well, that's the type of people I'm looking for to do my multiplayer with. You know, like, case in point, like on this farm, I'm over there planting crops, not because that's what I want to do, but because I have to do it. You know, on this map, I have to do that in order to make a little money on the side to start off with here. After I'm completed selling this silage, I'll probably harvest those fields over there that I planted, and they may never get planted again. My personal account, I've played, I can't tell you how many hundreds, I know it's over 100 hours on this farm alone, on my personal account, and I planted one field. And it wasn't even the fields you started with. I bought 13 right behind the pig farm over there and planted corn in it. That's it. That's the only field I bought. It's the only field I've done anything in. And I've got all kinds of equipment on that account, and I play it the exact same way that I live stream. I'm not using the money cheats. I'm not doing any of that jazz. Where my money has come from is running the cattle farm. Right now, my cattle farm clears about 67 and some change, almost $68,000 a day is what I make off of milk on my cattle farm, which it's easy to do. You just invest properly, you know, and I work my grass and my silage and do my cows. That's what I'm talking about doing on West Coast. Instead of every farmer running all over the map and bumping into each other, you know, maybe get together once or twice to do a silage harvest, you know, so that everybody has plenty of silages on their farm to sell or at the biogas plant or what have you. You know, maybe help each other out as far as carting things back and forth to the sell points during big harvest times or whatever. But for the most part, just be a small, play the map like you're in that community. Every farmer at his farm doing his job. You know, I just thought it'd be neat. Maybe I'm trying to think too big and too complex. I'm glad those don't have collisions on them. But that's something I'd like to try. I don't see it happening simply because I don't have traffic on the Rednecks Facebook page. I don't get a lot of traffic through there, so I don't see it happening. Yeah, I know, bud. It's hard for you to stream over there. Well, I would say that you could come over here and take part in it from over here, but I can't stream from two locations in the house at the same time. That'd probably kill my connection, because mine ain't the best in the world either. This used to work. I don't know if it still does or not. Evidently it doesn't. I need this end uncovered. Doggone it. There we go. Now I can get it from the edge. As you can see, I spend a lot of time in my silage pit. From working the chaff up to selling the silage. I would guess you could probably run multiple conveyors. But at the time, I was in the negative, so multiple conveyors was not an option. Oh, I've hung up on something. There we go. Could do it like other people do, just pick up a bucket at a time. There's the camera angle I need. What I do is I use my bucket like a grater. That's why it's tilted forward, so that when you get to a low spot, it starts filling in the low spot by pouring stuff out of the bucket. Problem is, I got my speed set too fast. It won't pour out fast enough for the amount of travel that you're doing forward. Plus you have to have it tilted pretty good. Or you dig in. That's not what you want to do. Level this out back here. I'm making a hash of this. I got it bumpy as all get out. I'd be better doing a bucket at a time, I guess. Silage is not as easy to work as chaff is. I have let it escape from the pickup. Which has changed our silage price. Well, you can really tell when I start concentrating on hurry up, getting something done. I don't talk near as much. Sort of got a little aggravated with myself. I forgot. My other map, I got a JCB front end loader, or wheel loader. And my bucket that I'm using on there is much bigger. That big universal bucket does like 11,000 liters, so it is not hard at all to keep up with feeding the conveyor. I can work it from the back side and just push it forward. On this playthrough, I'm trying to do things a little different instead of how I usually do them, so I'm gonna have to look at a different way of doing it. Because you can't buy the big universal bucket to work on the front of a front end loader on a tractor. I reckon it only fits telehandlers and wheel loaders, evidently. Hey, it is what it is. I never knew you were gone. I thought you just got quiet while you were watching the video. I've been busy. Making a mess. Selling silage. Yeah, I know, right? That is laughable. Gotta remember, them front tires collide before the tires actually hit. Yeah, I told whoever might have been watching a while ago that was in here, told them you can actually tell when I'm concentrating on trying to get something done in a hurry. I talk a whole lot less. I just pay attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, stream's been pretty slow today. I don't know what's going on. It might be everybody's in church. Who knows? Y'all see how that's doing, right? That's stuttering. You can fix that stuttering if it bothers you. It gets on my nerves after hearing it for a while. And come in here and hit your time scale up. Time 5. Boom. It's just that easy. But now you'll have to be quick with your front end loader, because now it's going to pick it up just a hair faster than what it was. You gotta watch those front wheels. Me and Beast last weekend, we were playing, we noticed that the front twin tires on here, the collision is a whole lot wider than what the actual tires are on the tractor. That it'll run into walls and shrubs when you're actually not even touching them yet. The front tires, it drives as if the front tires are every bit as wide as the back tires. So you sort of have to watch what you're doing when you're pulling up to stuff with them front tires. If not, you'll run into stuff not knowing that you're going to, or meaning to. Now then. Put the pile too close to the conveyor. That's not good. We got a little money in the bank. We still got a little silage left, which we're gonna play with, or I'm going to play with that. I'm going to do some experimentation. This bucket and the way I got it set up works good on this tractor dealing with chaff. Not very well after it's fermented into silage. The bucket's not large enough to be able to quickly relocate the silage to keep up with the conveyor. Which is fine. The bucket's not going nowhere. It's staying. The front end attachment is not going nowhere. It's staying. The tractor sure ain't going nowhere. It's staying. But we are going to run to the store and take a look at some kind of different equipment. Stuff I haven't used before. I've never tried to use it. So it will be a learning experience. In other words, let me park the tractor for a second. Pause for the calls. My drink glass has become empty, and that's not good. But we'll take this tractor, our old Dutz, and we'll take it over to the store, at which point we will take a look and see what all kinds of options we may have to work our silage with. We'll still use the big fence to do the silage work and the cattle work with, but that bucket just I've always used a bucket to even the chaff out, but normally it's on a wheel loader, and it's the large 11,000 liter bucket. And if you could fit the 11,000 liter bucket on a front loader attachment, I would continue to do such. But since it doesn't fit, we'll have to take a look at different options. I'm tailgating you. So cars run about 28, 29, just a little under 30 mile an hour on there, or 30 kilometers an hour. Okay. So I'll set the cruise at 25, and they won't be in my way, and I'll be in theirs. Oh me, he's all over the road. He's all off the road. Richard, it's welcome to the stream, man. It's not a very difficult game to get into as far as playing. I would equate it to some of the things people play on their phones, though. It's very addictive because it is the simplest of concepts. And JJ, no, if you'll read the description, people amaze me on here sometimes. The description says PS4. This is not Xbox. But, you know, nowadays people are too much in a hurry, I guess, to read a line. They would much rather just jump in chat and ask a question. But yeah, to answer your question, Richard, it's not hard. It's not hard as in the difficulty level. No, I would not categorize this as difficult to get into. Um, as far as watching a stream of it, most likely because it's time consuming and it's tedious depending on who you're watching play. Um, a lot of YouTubers, the big guys that do this game, do videos on this game, mainly do what they call episodes, where they pre-record them and edit them. They time-lapse them and all that stuff. So it takes care of people with short attention spans. I don't do that. I play long form, uh, realistic type stuff, or as realistic as the game will allow you to do it. So it tedious, I guess, would be the word I would use to describe the gameplay. Let's see, a dozer blade. I haven't used that. Oh. And that was new, I noticed. Must have came out sometime this weekend. And that's new. A lot of little new things on here I have not seen before. That's interesting. But yeah, I hope that would answer your question, Richard. If not, feel free to be more specific with it. As far as getting into is watching them, I watch a lot of the episodes. I don't watch very many live streams. I like seeing how different people, you know, go about playing it. I can understand that. What type of games are you normally into? Um, I'm into like third person free roaming games myself. This simulation game is about the only simulation game I've got. I do a lot of action, adventure, third person type games. Recently started getting into a very, very few first person shooters. But it all depends on what type of games you're into. This is my laid back, chill out game. You know, I don't have to worry about any split second button pushing and or anything of that. Now, sports games, yeah, I used to be big into the sports games. And then EA and Madden and 2K and all of them figured out that, you know, that right there is a money eater, man. But I loved my sports games back in the day. Way back in the day. We're talking Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls back in the day. I guess you could say this is like sort of like a role playing game. You are the farmer. Anytime you're out of cab, You're in first-person view, as you can see. Everything in the environment is pretty much playable, I guess would be to say. Certain items like this tire, you walk up to it, you can't pick it up, you can't move it. Other items, let's see if we can find one. I don't know if anything in this store is movable, so this is a bad spot to show you an example. Anyway, sometimes there'll be world items laying out, gas cans or whatever that you can pick up, move around, role play. For an example of that, you may want to look under my subscriptions on the YouTube page and check out Eustace Farmer, EUTACE PHARMER. He uses this game to do what only can be described as cinematic genius. And that's using the word genius lightly, but yeah, he uses the game himself. He comes up with a storyline, writes it all out, and travels around from map to map, farm to farm, as you would, and makes a story of it. I've never seen a game be more entertaining than watching his. But yeah, you got a whole lot of different tractors to buy, but you're being a farm or farmer on the farm. It's not a complicated game, but it's as difficult as you want to make it. You do have a difficulty setting on the game that can be changed from easy, normal, or hard, which basically changes the sale prices for your crops and your livestock and such things. Think of easy being during a boom time where the market is just in high demand of everything that your farm can produce, and hard level would be like depression. It'd be like going through a economic depression where it's not even worth going out there and harvesting the field to sell, actually, because you'd be better off trying to get government funding just to let it sit out there and rot. But other than that, it's straightforward. It's a driving simulator where you're driving tractors and farm equipment. See, I was looking for new equipment for doing the silage. I'm thinking about trying that out. Only thing is it's not much bigger. That only picks up 41,000 liters, or 4,100 liters, excuse me. I want something that's going to move some silage in that bunker. That one's 8. That one's 9. That looks to be the biggest one. Okay. Oh, and it's by CSZ, so that's adaptable. I hear you. But I hope that answered your question, Richard. Best I possibly can. I can ramble on about it, but like I said, it's a pretty simple, straightforward game. There's not really anything to say about it other than rambling. It's one of those games that you either play it for the first time and you're like, oh man, I don't understand why this is so addictive, or you play it for the first time and you're like, oh dear God, I don't understand why anybody would play this stupid game. It's sort of like me with Minecraft. Yes, Minecraft is one of those games, people, that I look at it and I'm like, hey, you know what? I started playing video games when all it was 2 sticks and a little square block
bouncing from side to side on the screen. I don't want to play with little square blocks no more. I want things to look real. There again, that there looks pretty neat too. That's a silage roller. It opens up. I might go that route. What's this? Oh, okay. I think I'm going to have that adapter though to go with that blade if I buy that blade. Yep, it'll have to have an adapter. Okay, we're going to try this. I don't know how this is going to work out. I ain't never used it before. So we're going to buy the dozer blade, since it will push around 9,000 liters, and that's more than our small bucket will pick up and move at any one time. Okay, BJ. Yeah, let's see. Oh, we've got options. We can add weight or remove the weight. We got an excavated profile and a grain profile. Wonder which is which. Anybody ever use this? They know which is which? I think excavated profile puts the red borders on the edge of the blade, whereas the grain, or does the grain profile do that? I know that's what it is. Weight is self-explanatory. We want the weight on it. We want the added weight. Oh, hour number 2. Thank you, Nightbot, for letting me know. We're into hour number 2. Okay, we're going to waste some money here. We're going to buy one that's excavated first. So it'll be on the line first. And now we'll buy the grain. We'll sell one of these, whichever one we don't want. Because sometimes you just gotta do this. I should have done it on test map, but I'm coming in here cold this morning. Okay, let's see the difference. Ah, that's what I thought. The one with the grain profile has the red borders on the edge of the blade, whereas the excavated does not. Let's see. As we're using it for silage, I do not see a reason to have the sideboards on. Okay. So we'll grab our ducks far. And Richard, you can drive the tractor in cab. And for other jobs that you're doing, you have the option to go third person so that you can see your tractor from any which angle you would, like to spin your camera. Which makes some of the jobs in tight areas a whole lot easier. Now let's see, am I going to have an adapter to hook to this, or will it hook straight up to the 3-point linkage? Ah, it hooks straight up to the 3-point linkage. How much movement do I have? On this tractor, quite a bit. Plenty. So I don't need the adapter. Good deal. Yeah, we take a money loss, but we don't need 2 blades. We only need 1. And for future reference, now everybody here knows the difference between the excavated and the grain profile. Hey Brandon, welcome to the stream. Hope you've had a good weekend or are having a good weekend. I know how everybody's excited for the work week and the school week to begin. You can tell I'm just overjoyed that tomorrow I can get back to my daily grind. That looks awful small. Whereas this one here, where'd it go? There it is. Looks like it folds out to be larger. Plus it tells you that it's 5.2 meters when unfolded. Yes, Brendan, as the description says, it is on PS4. That one is 5.2, but this one doesn't tell you. Oh, wait a minute. It does say 700 mm hydraulic shift of 700 mm of the roll frame. 700 millimeters is the way I read that. If that's true, 700 millimeters would only be 0.7 meters. No. It'd be 7 meters. Yeah. Okay, let's waste more money. Let's buy this one. It comes. Okay, here we go. Standard, back attacher. Standard, I guess. Without lights or with lights. We don't need lights. So just buy that plain Jane. Then come out. Go over here to this one. Something about that green color just that's the higher of the two too. Plus this one here, the weight is, you can change the weight because it can be filled up with water to make it weigh more, to help squish the silage. Let's see. Let's buy one, check it out. As far as equipment goes, this stuff's pretty reasonably cheap. Oh yeah, that's plenty wide. In tighter spots where you need to move it, you know, tractor over closer to the wall, you can always fold it up and use it that way. This one here, what's so special about it? I don't see nothing particularly special about it. Other than it being black and red. Black and red would look good on the farm. Whereas orange and green, it makes me feel ill. Looks like 3-point there. Yes, Brandon, all of the mods in-game are available off the PlayStation Mod Hub. I believe this silage thing came out this weekend sometime. I noticed I had something for silage that I was downloading right before I come in. I get every mod comes out when it comes out, and 9 out of 10 of them I do not even use, but I have them for occasions like this when you want to check things out. Let's see what these look like when moved around in use. that one, the hookup's on the other side. And this one, it looks like the hooks up is on this side. That's what it looks like. So we'll look at this one first. Get over here out of the way. Oh, that is a great question, Richard. Sometimes I'm on here for a couple of hours, but right now I've already been on here for 2 hours, 10 minutes. I will probably be around for at least another hour or so. Sort of messing around with some of this new stuff, checking it out. Okay, with this one you don't have free range movement. Yeah. This one you just have regular movements. You have lower and raise and fold and unfold. And that's it. Okay. Let's check this other one. Nothing wrong with that. I was just trying to see, folks. With some of this new equipment, you have individual, sort of like the blade on the front, where you've got, you know, all free motion movement with it. I like that. It's interesting. Okay, this one's heavy by itself. Let's open up our help window so we can see if it has any extra stuff on it. Hey Dutchman, sorry for earlier, man. I was chit-chatting away with everybody, but as always, the mic was muted from me playing another game and not needing the mic. So my apologies for not acknowledging you earlier. I was having a senior moment. But welcome back to the stream. And, okay, Richard, yeah, anytime, man. Hit that sub button. You'll always be able to find me. I'm on here just about every weekend. Let's see. This has lower and lift. And we also have some kind of extra. Let's spin around here. Let's see what these extras are. Lift it up. Let's zoom in here. Okay, I don't see nothing there. I'm moving the blade on the front. I don't have it blade selected. Let's drop the blade. Maybe that'll help. Oh, that was the extra things. Never mind. Oh, wait a minute. No, here's one. Oh, okay. You can side shift it to one side. Or you can have it straight behind it. Okay. I'm sure there is some kind of usefulness for that. Yeah, okay. I'm sure there's usefulness for that. It boggles my mind that I can't figure out what it is. Instead of going with the heavy metal one, yeah, heavy metal, you know, AC/DC, Metallica, yeah, okay. Instead of going with a heavy metal one, we're going to go with a lightweight, hollow one. Especially since our little ducks far is a lightweight tractor doing all our transporting. And grab our blade. Run back over here and sell this before I leave. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking too there, Dutchman. But to just slide one direction and not slide both, I guess that makes sense too, because the way most modern tractors are set up, when you go to look backwards, you do look over your right shoulder. You know, like the new John Deere tractors, the seat has an adjustment on it so that it actually, I think it adjusts like 33 to 35 degrees offset to the right, so it sort of swivels to the right and locks in that position, so that as you're driving with your left hand on the wheel, you're already turned 33 degrees to look over your right shoulder to see the implement. So maybe that's the reason why it doesn't offset but to one side. Yeah, I'll give you that. But for purposes of game, this will work. Yeah. Oh, is that part of the update? I seen the post this morning about expect an update for that hook truck, but I didn't go take a look at it. I was going to do it later. And if that's part of the update, that is going to be amazing. But you know, hey, Black Sheep does it for us every day. Every time, man. Their mods are awesome. Black Sheep does not disappoint. Or I haven't been disappointed yet. I've had, you know, you have little picadillos, and I don't lay that at a modder's foot the same way I don't lay it at giant's feet. It's what I call personal preferences. I have found no faults as far as, you know, using them in game with any of Black Sheep stuff. Though I do have some of their mods that I'm just, no, I don't like it. But it's a personal preference thing. Oh, okay. I downloaded the hook truck when I got in this weekend. I have not looked at it. Of course, you've been around the channel at least over a week now. You know I don't do many review type videos or anything. I'm gonna get on my test map though later. I just bought my first two pieces of equipment that I have not tested. I have not tested the blade on the front of this from CSZ. I have not tested that, and I cannot remember the modder's name for this silage roller on the back. These are the first two pieces of equipment I've ever bought to use in the game without testing it on the map first, you know. So we're just going to see how this goes. You can tell the excitement in my voice. But yeah, later today I'll be on my test map trying that hook truck out. I know it fits all the IT runner things. It should be straightforward. I'm interested in seeing, since the hook actually comes off of the back of the truck, I'm interested in finding out if the hook attachment can be used with like the Terra variant. Because if you can fit the hook attachment, I don't know where it's at. What's it under? Maybe under miscellaneous. Let's see. Where's it at? No, the hook attachment not under there. No. Okay. Let's look under trucks then. See if it's all under trucks. Okay. There's the truck. Where's the hook attachment? Under tippers, maybe? I'm guessing. I don't know where it's at. See, I downloaded. Wait a minute. Was that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, that right there is 25 grand. I'd be interested to see if this hook attachment can be placed on the back of what can arguably, and notice I said arguably, be called the most perfect tractor in the game, and that is the Homer Terra Variant 600. And the only reason I say can arguably be called the best tractor in the game is horsepower to money out of pocket ratio when compared to all other vanilla tractors, not modded tractors, but vanilla tractors, is awesome. Oh, okay. Good deal. Then that is awesome. That solves a lot of minor things. Because the first thing that I thought about, everybody sees the truck and the hook attachment, and you're like, okay, cool. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming. Go in here and look. Let's see. Wheel setup. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Wheel setup. Standard, which is regular tires. Wide. Okay. What? Wait a minute. Just wide and standard? Okay. Well, am I supposed to trash my crops with that truck when I decide that I want to use, let's see, I don't think there's a fertilizer spreader for the IT runner, is there? No. But I know there's a slurry tank, right? Well, you got one for that. Never mind. There's that. There's that. Okay, maybe I was confused. I was thinking there was a IT runner attachment for fertilizing. Okay, so my concerns was, oh, it was manure. That's what it is. Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, you could do manure, I guess. It wouldn't kill. But yeah, that was the first thing I thought of was, well, if you can't use it to pull across fields if you're using destruction. But uh, that's me having another senior moment. Y'all excuse me. Brandon. No, Brandon, I do not make mods. I love the crap out of them, though. I am not a modder. I am not a mapper. I'm not a coder. I'm a player. That's what I am. And not in the new age sense of a player. I'm a video game player. Alright, a couple of new little trinkets to try out on the farm here. Open gate. boy, look at there. I got that conveyor belt over there all jacked up, don't I? Let's see, let's set the blade down. Now, supposedly, according to the store, this roller, which we're not going to be using right now, we bought it for future use. Like I said, wanted to try out a couple of new pieces of equipment, no big deal. But supposedly this can be filled up with water. So let's see how heavy this gets. I should have probably had the camera set there before I mashed the button. I blame it on another senior moment. You got to be more careful when you're texting and driving, Dutchman. You've seen me do it too. That texting and driving does not help anything. I hate to hear you wound up in a tree. That sounds real bad, but I've got to know though, just exactly how did that happen? I mean, I can understand how I have the accidents I have. You know, I'm not right in the head. I do things like pay attention to the cats attacking each other while I got the cruise control set, and you know, other little weird things I do. Can remember back in the day playing on Bjornholm and setting the cruise going across. I was going across the field and had the cruise set, and I remember somebody knocked at the front door, and without even thinking, you know, I just set the controller down, walked in there to the front door. When I came back, the tractor had made it all the way across the map and was setting up against the edge of the screen, just still trying to go. Oh, so when you say you ended up in a tree, you mean you were in a tree. Which cliff did you fall off of? This, Brandon, is the mod that came out week before last. The Fent. Let's see. It's the Fent Favorite 824. It's the 800 series, and we upped it up. Went with the black paint and chrome package, where the inserts are chrome or silver, as you might want to say. They're not really chrome. They're like iodized silver. And the gray wheels instead of the regular Fent red wheels. Yeah, I hear you, Dutchman. I never have that happen to me in game. I don't do much speeding. But I'm bad about setting that cruise control and putting the controller down to take care of something else. Which can put me in some pretty weird looking predicaments. But yeah, that's what we're using. Since we were compacting silage when we bought it, we went ahead and bought the double tires front and back. And I like it. I didn't mean to hook this up this way though. I wanted to try something different. The only issue as far as this tractor, since you asked about it, Brendan, I'll go ahead and tell you. Last weekend we did find it's not nothing major or big, but the front twin tires, if you'll watch, the front twin tires have a collision issue. As you see, I'm not touching the tires, but I'm colliding with the tires because it says that the twins are wider than what they actually are. I have not taken the time yet to take the twins off to see if there's still a collision issue with just regular tires on it. I'm assuming it's not. And if we get down here to a more ground level, you can tell that what it's reading as a collision is actually the collision for the back tires, saying that the backs are just as, or the fronts are just as wide as the backs. But as far as issues go, that's a non-factor to most people except me, because I tend to take turns a little too close to fence post. So when I'm driving this tractor, I hit a lot of things whether I would or not, simply because of the collision. So just a FYI thing. This does have directional driving, and that's what I wanted to try. I want to try out the directional driving with this. We can turn our help window off now. So yeah, Dutchman, I hate to... Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, you're running a logging map. Oh, okay. I took a look. I don't think I've looked at the Emerald map yet. I took a look at that Smoky Mountain map when it first, like, you know, come out, and it was what it was. And since then, I'm like, well, you know, okay, it's a logging map, no big whoop. So I haven't went and checked the other ones out. I saw they came out, but I haven't really, you know, I didn't even download them to look at them. That's how pathetic I am with it. I think I like the way that works. I'm not sure if I do or not. It's not exactly doing what I want it to do. Though it is leveling it out. Let's do it like this and see what that does. Oh, by golly. That moved silage around. I'm just goofballing on here today, guys. I'll be honest. Got your tractor stuck on your house. Oh, dear Lord. But JCB, I would only assume it'd have to be a fast-moving tractor.
I can see now the difficulty of using this blade does not come from the blade itself. It comes from the width of the tractor. If the blade was wider on the back of this tractor, that would be awesome. Okay, so what we're gonna do, got our path there blocked. I gotta go the long way. We're gonna do a little construction over here on the farm real quick. There's a time and a place for everything, and everything in its place at its appropriate time. And right now it's time to head to a place because it is the appropriate time to put something on the map. Normally, yeah, to move solids around and everything, that's what I normally use on my first playthrough on this map. That's what I got. The big 11,000 some odd liter bucket and the JCB. I'm just, you know, trying different things. Got our big patch of land here for our placeables, and we're going to place a placeable. We're going to not do it from that menu. Let's go over here. Placeables. We're going to get a vehicle workshop. And we are going to put it, we're going to square this off. I didn't really park the tractor square though to help me line it up. We'll do the best we can. We'll square it up with this edge. Even though this edge is not very square. Okay, and come back out of there. Alright. Yes, this is where you go to. So I guess I have to move the vehicle and then put it back there again. Let's back up going forward. I like that camera angle though. Check that out. I've never looked backwards in a reverse drove tractor. As you turn around, it throws you right up to the windshield. That should be your first person view. I mean, I understand why it isn't, because you don't see the dashboard or anything, but you could drive so much better that way. Top of hood view, maybe? Look into it, Giants. Anyway, let's get out of here. Let's take our twins off. We're not compacting solids right now. Oh, we'll go wide tires. Yeah. We'll try wide tires. Why not? Let me look at that again. Okay, it was $1,800 for wide tires. Not bad. And they fit behind the blade, so that works. Now let's go and honestly test this blade out. No, Dutchman, I'm the same way.
I just figured I'd try some different stuff, you know. I don't use very I don't use the tractors with front loaders on them that often, just with silage and the like. Uh, Usually don't use them to do bales. You know, come to think of it, I can't think of anything I use the regular tractors with a front loader attachment for. I forgot. I don't know, it might fit through there. I do use a... No, it won't go through there. Now this is different. I have to turn left to go right and turn right to go left. I didn't see a collision there, did y'all? We'll go over here to our old tire stack and try it out there. There you go. Collision fixed. It's just on the twin tires. So it's just an issue on the twin wheels. No big deal. Nothing major, like I said before, but it was worth letting y'all know about. Now let's see. Should be able to get this pretty close right up against the wall. Alright, Dutchman, man. You have a good week this week, and maybe we'll catch you on here next weekend. I know I'll be here. Hopefully I will not be still playing with the same pile of silage, but I'll be here. Thank God this thing has a lot of horsepower. I don't like the way it instantly has looks like a large pile in front of you. Whoa. Go that way. Oh, Lord, there we go. Well, folks, I just got my 5-minute warning buzzer from the headset. So we will be cutting this stream just a little shorter than normal as I sit here and play and fiddle around with this blade. Oh,
Okay. That was... I think I'm starting to see how it behaves. Makes sense. It is a leveler, and it is doing a fine job of leveling. It'll be a learning curve on setting the blade up. A bucket, I fully understand the operation of it. I've operated, real life front end loaders with buckets. I understand how to level ground with them, but a blade, this is an entirely different creature. I've never operated a blade in all my life. Most dozers I've ever been on had a bucket on the front. Or there again, it may just be how this blade reacts in game. There's no guarantee that the way this blade acts would be how a blade in real life would act. That looked weird. Though the blade is acting similar to a bucket in certain situations. In other words, there's less scoopable, I guess would be the way to describe it. Because of the backfill that a bucket has, where a blade doesn't have backfill at all. It's supposed to only push and tumble it over and forward. Whereas a bucket, you have the empty space toward the back of the bucket so that it backfills. So even though you have it tilted forward, you have a slower pour out rate to do your leveling with. And if the sides of that other blade I looked at actually work, and we can always, I say we, I can already tell that the very top of this blade serves no purpose other than decoration. Because as we piled our pile up, you saw how it just went straight through the top of it and showed up. So that means that that's not workable. It's only for decoration. The other blade had the profile edges, red profile edges on the side. I've noticed as I use this blade and I push, it does have side spillage. It's not just all spillage rolling over toward the front and leveling out. That's how we ended up with them little peaks and valleys here. As we were pushing forward, it's spilling out the side, which is fine. It makes sense. That's how a blade would work. I wonder, the other blade had the side, if the side was only for direct decorations, it wouldn't help. If it's actually a collision built on those sides, that might be something we look at. I may buy another one and bring over here to try it out to check the things. But we'll do that at a later date. Right now, I'll leave y'all with, we sold a little silage. We planted a field. Let's see where I was going. Oh, help window. Turn the help window off. Got a field planted and fertilized. Well, we got it planted anyway. Still need to do fertilizing to it. We sold over half of our silage, and got us a good starting rate of 300 grand. And I believe that's going to be it for today. Like I said earlier, guys, I apologize. Life, you get busy in life, and sometimes that affects the stream. I will attempt to do better, and we're going to try to do at least 2 streams on every weekend until West Coast comes out. And if West Coast comes out and I can find like-minded PlayStation players that want to give it a whirl with me, then we're going to do West Coast as a multiplayer. But y'all go by the Facebook page. Let's see. Yeah, y'all go check out the Facebook page at JR of Rednecks. I've got a post on there about it. And if you'd be interested in joining up and trying that on multiplayer, give me a line, shoot me a message on there, and we'll get it set up so that when the map comes out, we'll have everything set and ready. Until next weekend, guys, y'all have a great week. Be safe in your life. And when you feel like crying, or you feel like whining, you feel like life is getting you down, just take a moment and realize that Flying Dutchman this week got a truck stuck up in his tree on the farm, and that JR ran into trees over 2 chickens today, and that saddens me, and ran into the tires. Life's not perfect is what we're saying. Just have a smile and laugh. It's the best medicine, folks. But we will see you next weekend.